Someone found the body of 20-year-old Lanyah Dawson, also known as Naya, not too far from here at District 3 headquarters, lying on the road in the middle of Mount Airy Forest. Police responded to a call for an unresponsive body in the park at about 12:30 Saturday morning, and officers declared Dawson dead at the scene from gunshot wounds.
December 7th, 2024, Mount Airy Forest, Cincinnati. The silence of the night was broken by police radios crackling to life as officers responded to an anonymous call. What they discovered in the secluded area of Trail Ridge Road would shake the community to its core. The body of 20-year-old Lanyah Dawson, surrounded by 8 9M shell casings scattered across the ground like grim markers of her final moment. This wasn't just another crime scene. This was where a young mother's dreams ended. This was where a 1-year-old child lost her mother forever. This was where a family's world collapsed. Mount Airy Forest is Cincinnati's largest park, a place meant for hiking trails and family picnics. Not murder, not execution. Yet on this December night, its darkness concealed an act of violence that left investigators with more questions than answers. Who would target this vibrant young woman described by everyone as the life of the party? Why was she in this remote section of the park closed to vehicle traffic? And most importantly, who pulled the trigger, not once but multiple times, ending her life with such brutal finality? Before we continue with Lanyah's story, I need to ask something important of you. This isn't just content for entertainment. This is about a real young woman whose life was stolen, leaving a baby without her mother. If you believe every victim deserves justice, if you think every family deserves answers, please hit that subscribe button and like this video right now. Your simple action helps stories like Lanyah's reach more people. It might even reach someone who knows something, someone who could help bring her killer to justice, for Lanyah's daughter, for her grieving mother, for justice itself. Make your voice heard with that like button. Now, let's uncover the truth about what happened to Lanyah Dawson. Born in 2004, Lanyah Dawson grew up in Cincinnati's Evanston neighborhood, a community known for its close-knit families and resilient spirit. From her earliest days, she stood out, not because she sought attention, but because her personality naturally drew people in. Lanyah meant a lot to us. She was my baby, but she also was everybody's baby too. Her mother, Dawson, would later tell mourners, her voice breaking with emotion. She was the life of the party. She was very fun, outgoing. You could always call her and she would be there for you. Those who knew her best described Lanyah as fiercely loyal, the friend who showed up when others made excuses, the daughter who checked in on her mother and grandmother regularly, the person whose laughter could transform the energy of a room within seconds. But Lanyah was more than just her vibrant social presence. She was an aspiring rapper who shared her music on social media platforms. For her, music wasn't just entertainment, it was expression, a channel for her experiences, frustrations, and hopes. Her cousin, Jeriah Crenshaw, preserved photographs of Lanyah in her element, performing, creating, dreaming of making a name for herself through her art. Life hadn't always been easy in Evanston. Like many neighborhoods, it faced socioeconomic challenges and occasional violence. Yet Lanyah navigated these realities with remarkable resilience, maintaining close bonds with her mother, grandmother, and extended family who formed her support system. Everything changed for Lanyah when she became a mother herself. At 19, she welcomed a daughter who instantly became the center of her world. Those close to her noticed a transformation, a new level of maturity and purpose that motherhood brought. Despite her youth, she embraced the responsibilities of parenthood with determination, striving to create stability and opportunity for her child. She loved that baby more than anything, a childhood friend would later tell investigators. Everything she did was thinking about giving her daughter a good life. In the months before her death, Lanyah had been making plans. She talked about furthering her education, developing her music more seriously, and creating a secure future for her daughter. There was no indication she felt threatened or feared for her safety. By all accounts, she was looking forward, not over her shoulder. What circumstances could have led such a young woman with everything to live for to that isolated section of Mount Airy Forest on a December night? What connections or conflicts might have placed her in the path of danger? I'm curious, have you ever witnessed how violence affects families in your community? the ripple effects that touch not just the victim but everyone connected to them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. December 7, 2024 began as an ordinary Saturday for Lanyah Dawson. According to friends who spoke with investigators, she was in good spirits that morning, making weekend plans and looking forward to spending time with her one-year-old daughter. What we know about Lanyah's final hours comes primarily from digital footprints and witness statements pieced together after her death. Her social media accounts showed normal activity throughout the day, nothing that would signal distress or fear. She had posted a brief video of herself with music playing in the background around noon and exchanged messages with several friends about potentially meeting up later. Perhaps the most haunting detail comes from Lanyah Dawson, Lanyah's mother, who revealed that they had texted each other just hours before the tragedy. These ordinary messages, now the last words they would ever exchange, gave no indication of the danger that lay ahead. That's what's so weird to me, because it's like, if I knew that her life was in danger in any type of way, she already knows that she can call on any of us and we'd all be there for her, Yaresh later told reporters, her voice heavy with regret. The text messages were mundane, the kind exchanged between mother and daughter countless times before. Lanyah mentioned picking up her daughter later. Naresha asked if she needed anything from the store. Neither could have imagined these routine communications would soon become precious final memories. As evening approached, Lanyah was reportedly seen in the company of acquaintances in the Cincinnati area. Investigators have not publicly identified these individuals or clarified their relationship to Lanyah. This gap in the timeline represents crucial missing information that could help explain how and why she ended up in Mount Airy Forest. What we do know is that sometime after dark, Lanyah Dawson found herself in a remote section of Cincinnati's largest park. The 4900 block of Trail Ridge Road where she was found is in a secluded area closed to vehicle traffic, though accessible by foot. This wasn't a place someone would likely visit by chance after dark, especially not a young mother with responsibilities and plans. Around 12:30 a.m., Cincinnati police received an anonymous call reporting a body in the forest. Officers responded immediately, arriving at the scene to make their grim discovery. Lanyah Dawson lay on the ground, the victim of multiple gunshot wounds. Emergency medical services arrived shortly after, but could only confirm what was already apparent. She was gone. The crime scene told part of the story that Lanyah no longer could. 8 9mm shell casings were scattered near her body. Blood patterns at the location strongly suggested she was killed right there, rather than her body being moved after death. The presence of multiple casings indicated a violent confrontation, though investigators have not publicly confirmed whether she was alone at the time of the shooting or if there were witnesses. The location itself raised questions. Mount Airy Forest spans over 1,400 acres, Cincinnati's largest park. The spot where Lanyah was found was not far from the District 3 police headquarters, yet isolated enough that gunshots might go unheard or unreported. Was this location chosen deliberately? Did her killer know this area well, or did circumstances simply lead them there by chance? As dawn broke over Cincinnati on December 8th, Lanyah Dawson received the news no mother should ever hear. Her daughter, her baby, was gone, leaving behind a one-year-old child who would now grow up without her mother. What happened in those final moments? Did Lanyah know her attacker? Was she lured to the forest, or did she go there willingly? The answers to these questions remain elusive, locked away in the silence of that December night. The investigation into Lanyah Dawson's murder began immediately after her body was discovered. Cincinnati Police Department's homicide unit took charge, treating the area around Trail Ridge Road as an active crime scene throughout the early morning hours of December 7th. Forensic teams meticulously documented and collected the 8 9mm shell casings found near Lanyah's body. These casings potentially hold crucial information. Ballistic markings that could match a specific firearm if it's ever recovered. The blood evidence at the scene confirmed what seemed apparent. Lanyah Dawson was killed where she was found. Detectives began the painstaking process of reconstructing Lanyah's final day. They interviewed family members, including her mother, Nayarisha, who provided the heartbreaking detail about their text exchange just hours before the murder. Friends were questioned about her movements, her relationships, and whether she had mentioned any conflicts or concerns. Her phone records became a critical focus. Who had she communicated with in those final hours? Was there any indication she planned to meet someone at Mount Airy Forest? The secluded location suggested either she went there willingly with someone she trusted, or she was forced there against her will, both scenarios pointing to someone she likely knew. Social media accounts were examined for clues about her relationships and recent interactions. As an amateur rapper who shared her music online, Lanyah had a digital footprint that might reveal connections or conflicts unknown to her family. Yet despite these investigative efforts, progress has been frustratingly slow. As of the latest updates, the Cincinnati Police Department had not made any arrests in connection with her death. No suspects have been publicly named. No clear motive has emerged. This lack of resolution raises troubling questions. Was this a targeted killing? The multiple gunshots suggest a deliberate act rather than a random encounter gone wrong. If Lanyah was specifically targeted, why? Was it connected to a personal relationship, a dispute, or something else entirely? The location itself remains puzzling. Mount Airy Forest is not typically associated with high crime rates. The specific area where Lanyah was found is off the beaten path, not somewhere a person would randomly encounter others, especially after dark. This suggests either she or her killer chose this location deliberately. For Lanyah's family, these unanswered questions compound their grief. "At this point, right now, we just want answers," Lanyah Dawson said at a vigil held in her daughter's honor. "We need everything we need in order to move forward and have our hearts heal. I just don't think she deserved anything that has happened to her." If you're watching this video, you're now part of Lanyah's story. You're one of the people who knows what happened to her, who cares about finding answers. If this story moves you, if you believe that no mother should be taken from her child this way, please share this video. Every share could reach someone who knows something, a witness who saw something that night, someone who overheard a conversation, or even someone who knows the killer. Your simple act of hitting that share button could be the catalyst that brings justice for Lanyah and peace to her family. What do you think happened that night in Mount Airy Forest? What theories do you have about who might have wanted to harm Lanyah? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The Cincinnati Police Department continues to urge anyone with information to come forward. Tips can be provided anonymously through Crime Stoppers and may be eligible for rewards. But so far, those appeals have not yielded the breakthrough needed to solve this case and bring Lanyah's killer to justice. News of Lanyah Dawson's murder spread quickly through Cincinnati, sending shockwaves through the Evanston neighborhood where she grew up. The community's response was immediate and heartfelt, rallying around her family in their darkest hour. On the evening following her death, family and friends gathered near the parking lot of Walnut Hills High School for a vigil honoring Lanyah's memory. The location held significance, a familiar place in the neighborhood, accessible to all who wished to pay their respects. As darkness fell, the parking lot transformed into a space of collective grief and remembrance. Attendees carefully arranged candles to spell out Lanyah's initials, the flickering lights a poignant symbol of a life extinguished too soon. Many brought photographs of Lanyah smiling with friends, holding her baby daughter, performing her music, creating a mosaic of memories that captured her vibrant spirit. Lanyah Dawson, devastated yet determined, addressed the crowd with raw emotion. "Lanyah meant a lot to us. She was my baby, but she also was everybody's baby too," she said, her voice occasionally breaking. "She was the life of the party. She was very fun, outgoing. You could always call her and she would be there for you." The vigil wasn't just about mourning. It was a call for justice. At this point, right now, we just need prayers, we need answers, we need everything that we need in order to move forward and have peace in our heart. Because I just don't think she deserved nothing that has happened to her, Lanyah continued. As prayers were offered, dozens of balloons were released into the night sky, a symbolic gesture of letting Lanyah's spirit soar while keeping her memory firmly anchored in their hearts. Many in attendance wore custom T-shirts bearing her image and the dates that marked her brief life. Lanyah's grandmother, though present at the vigil, was too overwhelmed with grief to speak publicly. Family members explained that the stress of the tragedy had taken a severe toll on her health, adding another layer of concern for a family already reeling from loss. Perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of the community response centered around Lanyah's 1-year-old daughter. Several speakers at the vigil emphasized the need to support this child, who would now grow up without her mother. A family friend announced the creation of a trust fund for the little girl's future education and needs, a practical step amid the emotional turmoil. Local community organizations stepped forward with offers of support for the family, from counseling services to practical assistance with funeral arrangements. Religious leaders from several denominations offered prayers and spiritual comfort, emphasizing themes of justice, healing, and the community's responsibility to protect its young people. In the days following the vigil, makeshift memorials appeared both at the site where Lanyah's body was found and in the Evanston neighborhood. Notes, flowers, stuffed animals, and more candles accumulated as people sought ways to express their grief and solidarity with the family. Social media became another venue for community response, with hashtags demanding "Justice for Lanyah" appearing on various platforms. Friends and acquaintances shared memories and photographs, creating a digital memorial that complemented the physical ones throughout the city. The community's message was clear and unified. Lanyah Dawson would not be forgotten, her killer would not escape justice through public apathy or fading memory, her daughter would not be abandoned by the community that had embraced her mother, and her family would not face their grief alone. As one speaker at the vigil put it, "Today we mourn, tomorrow we demand answers, and every day after that we remember Lanyah until justice is served." Lanyah Dawson's murder exists not as an isolated tragedy, but as part of a broader pattern that demands our attention. Her death at just 20 years old highlights the persistent issue of youth violence that continues to claim promising lives across Cincinnati and many American cities. The statistics tell one story, numbers that track homicides, shootings, and victims under 25. But Lanyah's case tells another, the human cost behind those numbers. A young mother with dreams and potential, a 1-year-old child left without her mother, a family shattered by grief, friends robbed of decades of shared experiences. These are the true measures of what violence steals from communities. Mount Airy Forest, where Lanyah's life ended, represents another troubling dimension of this case. Public spaces designed for recreation and community gathering should be sanctuaries, not crime scenes. That Cincinnati's largest park became the setting for such violence raises urgent questions about safety in shared spaces. Parks are supposed to be where families make memories, not where they lose loved ones, noted a community advocate speaking at a city council meeting following Lanyah's death. When we can't feel safe in our own public spaces, we've lost something fundamental to community life. The location where Lanyah was found, a secluded area closed to vehicle traffic but accessible by foot, points to the importance of environmental design in public safety. Poorly lit areas, isolated paths, and spaces with limited visibility can become danger zones, particularly after dark. Several community members have since called for improved lighting, emergency call boxes, and increased patrols in Cincinnati's parks. For young women especially, Lanyah's story serves as a sobering reminder of vulnerability. While we don't know the specific circumstances that led to her being in that secluded area at night, her death underscores the importance of awareness and communication. Lanyah Dawson's heartbreaking comment about wishing she had known her daughter was in danger speaks to the critical nature of open communication channels between loved ones. The investigation's slow progress highlights another challenge, the no-snitching culture that often impedes justice in violent crimes. Someone knows what happened to Lanyah Dawson. Someone has information that could bring her killer to justice. Yet fear, misplaced loyalty, or community distrust of law enforcement can create walls of silence that protect perpetrators and deny victims justice. Breaking this cycle requires building trust between communities and the institutions meant to protect them. It means creating safe channels for witnesses to come forward without fear of retaliation. It means demonstrating that justice will be pursued regardless of who the victim or the perpetrator might be. For parents, Lanyah's story offers a difficult but necessary reminder about having crucial conversations with children about safety, awareness, and communication. For communities, it underscores the importance of collective vigilance and responsibility for shared spaces. What safety concerns do you have in your community? Are there places that should be safe but have become dangerous? I'd like to hear from you, no matter what state or country you're watching from. The most powerful response to violence is not fear or retreat, but community solidarity and action. In the wake of Lanyah's death, several neighborhood watch programs reported increased participation. Community forums on youth violence saw record attendance. These responses represent the resilience that refuses to accept violence as inevitable or normal. Lanyah Dawson's life mattered. Her dreams mattered. Her role as a mother mattered. By acknowledging the broader context of her death while refusing to let her become just another statistic, we honor her memory and contribute to the changes needed to prevent similar tragedies. As of today, Lanyah Dawson's case remains unsolved. Her killer walks free while her family continues their painful journey through grief, searching for answers that might bring some measure of closure. The 8 shell casings found at the scene, the secluded location in Mount Airy Forest, the circumstances that brought her there, all remain pieces of a puzzle that investigators have yet to complete. The Cincinnati Police Department maintains an active investigation, but without new leads or witnesses coming forward, progress has stalled. Each passing day makes solving the case more challenging as memories fade, evidence degrades, and witnesses become harder to locate. For Lanyah's 1-year-old daughter, time moves forward in a world without her mother. This child will mark milestones, first day of school, graduations, perhaps motherhood herself someday, without Lanyah's presence. She will know her mother primarily through photographs, videos, and stories told by those who loved her. The true cost of this murder extends decades into the future, affecting generations to come. Lanyah Dawson continues her dual mission of raising her granddaughter while advocating for justice. "I won't stop until whoever did this is held accountable," she told reporters at a recent community meeting. "My daughter deserves justice, and her baby deserves to know that the world didn't just forget what happened to her mother." The community's initial outpouring of support, the vigil, the memorials, the social media campaigns, risks fading as new tragedies demand attention. This is the cruel reality of violent crime in America. Yesterday's heartbreak is overshadowed by today's headlines. But for those who loved Lanyah, there is no moving on without resolution. This is where you, the viewer, become part of this story. True justice requires collective memory and action. It requires refusing to let cases go cold simply because they've left the news cycle. It requires maintaining pressure on authorities to continue investigating no matter how much time has passed. If this story has touched you, if you believe that Lanyah and her family deserve justice, please take a moment right now to subscribe to this channel. Your subscription supports our ability to continue telling these stories, to keep cases like Lanyah's in the public eye, and to hopefully help bring closure to families waiting for answers. Do it for Lanyah. Do it for her daughter, who will grow up asking questions about what happened to her mother. Do it because every victim deserves to be remembered and every killer should be held accountable. Share this video with others who might care about justice for a young mother whose life was cut tragically short. The more people who know Lanyah's story, the greater the chance that someone with information might come forward. If you have any information about the death of Lanyah Dawson, no matter how insignificant it might seem, please contact the Cincinnati Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 51335234040. You can remain anonymous, and you might be eligible for a reward. Sometimes the smallest detail can be the key that unlocks an entire case. Lanyah Dawson was more than just a victim. She was a young woman with dreams and potential, a loyal friend, a loving daughter, a devoted mother. She deserved to see her child grow up. She deserved to pursue her passion for music. She deserved a full life, not one cut short at just 20 years old in a dark corner of a forest. As long as we continue to share her story, as long as we continue to say her name, there remains hope that someday justice will be served. For Lanyah, for her daughter, for all victims whose cases remain unsolved. Thank you for watching, for caring, and for being part of the community that refuses to let victims be forgotten.